Sorry, and we are the delegates of New Zealand.
I'll be talking about gender equality problems New Zealand has faced, but before we get into that, I'd like to present an overview of New Zealand. Situated in South Pacific Ocean, boasting population of 5.2 million people, English and Maori are the official languages spoken there, and the economy is currently valued at 395 billion New Zealand dollars. New Zealand confronts various hurdles in achieving gender equality, and we must confront the challenges that affect the New Zealand society. Number one, persistent pay disparities. Number two, limited female representation and leader position. Number three, occupational segregation. Number four, the underrepresentation of women in STEM fields not being exposed compared to men. And then the last one, we have gender-based violence. Here's New Zealand's position on gender equality. On the top left corner, we have for every $1 that the average man makes, a woman makes on average 84 cents. 48.3% of the seats in Congress are occupied by women as of February 2021. Gender pay gaps were requested to be reviewed by 900 firms. And moreover, in 2020, 49% of women aged 25 to 34 had attained secondary education, surpassing the 39% attainment rate of men. And then moving on to this table here, I'd like to introduce to you the ranking of countries that have closed gender gaps. Currently, New Zealand has placed 4th position in the world by closing 80% of gender gaps.
So we can see that New Zealand faces significant gender inequality issues. Thus, the country has implemented strategic measures to address these challenges. As we can see from the graph, women's pay has clearly been lower than men's from 1998 to 2023. SDG goals stated that the Equal Pay Act targets pay equity, especially in female-dominated fields. Therefore, the Kia Toipora Action Plan has been launched to create a fair workplace, closing gender, Maori, Pacific, and ethnic gaps. Evidently, it has successfully reduced the Maori pay gap from 11.2% in 2018 to 6.5% in 2022. It also promotes pay transparency. In addition, the government mandates businesses to report their pay gap. This action plan contributes to a significant increase in women's labor force participation from 54.3% in 1991 to 67.2% in September of 2023. It seeks to ensure that all New Zealand women secure employment and pursue fulfilling careers. Efforts to address the underrepresentation of women in STEM fields include educational events, awards, scholarships, and research initiatives. Addressing gender-based violence is imperative, requiring immediate attention and awareness. Thus, the Family Violence Amendment Act of 2018 criminalizes forced marriages, enhances visibility with a family violence flag, and penalizes assaults on family members. In addition, New Zealand provides support services to combat these issues. The underrepresentation of women in politics is addressed by the Gender Equal NZ movement led by the National Council of Women. The Gender Attitude Survey monitors the progress. In addition, with the Electoral Act, New Zealand achieved the distinction of becoming the first self-governing country where all women gain the right to vote in parliamentary elections. Here are the references that we have used. Thank you for listening to our presentation, and we are open for any questions.
So my question is, how do you think having the first female leader of state has helped in improving gender equality in New Zealand?
So we think that, first of all, we need one person so that everyone else can be empowered. If one person is a leader, other women will start feeling empowered, and they will realize if this woman is capable of doing something, all of us can as well. So as a group, all women can form a team, and they can collectively help with the representation of women and widen the entire research on New Zealand.
Right, thank you for your presentation. I only have one question as well. And the question is, between women and Maori's rights, you mentioned about the closing of the gap between Maoris and the others from New Zealand. Now, which should be more important, the women's rights or the Maoris?
I think women's rights are, so compared to women and men, I think men has more rights than women in Maori. It's a fact. And then if you ask me Maori or women's right, I think women should get more rights than Maori because women has less rights than men for now. So no, women deserves more rights than Maori.
And also, if women first get their rights, we can later on move to the under communities such as the Maori and ethnic communities. So once women themselves are stabilized, we can move on to further communities.